Welcome to Spectrum News. I am Rachel. David White coming to you live from Uyo, the capital city of Akwa Ibom State. Let's take a look at the headlines. France bans Nigerian students, others from bringing families. Reps to probe causes of conflict between Navy, Tantata security. Plus, UK economy shrinks ahead of elections. We'll bring you details of the stories and many more in a moment. We begin the news this afternoon with a report that the French Parliament has passed a law restraining Nigerian students and others from bringing their families to the country. According to the report by Newsman, the law was backed by both President Emmanuel Macron's centrist Renaissance Party and Deputy of the French National Assembly. Marine Le Pen's far-right National Rally recalled that the previous draft was rejected by Parliament last week when the National Rally, as well as the left, voted against it. The response, the government redrafted the bill, making some of its previous tougher. And from the Green Chambers now, where the House of Representatives has ordered an immediate investigation into the causes of constant conflict between the Nigerian Navy and private security outfit engaged by the NNPC Limited to protect oil installations in the Niger Delta. Adopting a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by Donald Ojogo, the House said there was a need to immediately curb the conflict if the country is to meet its oil production benchmark on which the 2024 budget estimate is based. Meanwhile, the committee to conduct the investigation is headed by Alhassana Dodogua, who doubles as chairman upstream, while the chairman downstream, midstream, funding, gas resources, ports, and harbors, Niger Delta Environment are all members of the House Special Committee on Oil Theft. To Nigeria's leader now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has directed the transfer of the school feeding program from the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to the Ministry of Education. The Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, announced the development during a one-day retreat on ministerial deliverables 2023-27 for all directors and chief executive officers of all the parastatals under the Ministry of Tahir. Tahir said as part of his agenda to solve the growing problems of out-of-school children in the country, the president also reintroduced a school feeding program in Nigeria Basic Education to address the learning crisis and the challenges of out-of-school children currently bedevailing the country. Recall that former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration had suspended the program after many years of running it. In the meantime, the Vice President Kashim Shettima and Nigerian governors has set up committees on crude oil theft and management as well as economic affairs. This decision was taken during a 138th meeting of the National Economic Council (NEC), which was held virtually yesterday. According to a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President of Media and Communications, Stanley Nkwocha, the committees will be headed by the Kwara State Governor Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak and his Imo State counterpart Hope Uzodinma respectively. Meanwhile, members of the committee include the Gombe State Governor, Governor of Lagos, the Governor of Akwa Ibom, the Governor of Anambra, the Governor of Niger, and Governor of Kaduna. The Special Advisor to the President on NEC and Climate Change, Ruqayya El-Rufai, would serve as its secretary. Away from that, the head of civil service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi Hassan, has tasked newly appointed permanent secretaries to drop their personal ambitions and work towards aligning with the priorities of the President's administration's renewed hope agenda. She affirmed that as good administrators, personal decisions must respect public feelings. According to a statement released by her office today, Yemi Hassan was quoted to have given this charge while declaring open a two-day retreat organized for newly appointed permanent secretaries. In a separate development, the federal government has resumed payment of arrears to beneficiaries of the NPower program. Recall that the beneficiaries were being owed some months' salaries by the former President Muhammadu Buhari's administration. Speaking in an interview, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, said the payment of arrears to beneficiaries, which was started yesterday, will continue until the last person is paid. Meanwhile, Edu added that the NPower scheme is restructured to ensure that unemployment is reduced and jobs created. To judicial matters now, where the Supreme Court has today affirmed the election of Peter Mbah as the governor of Enugu State. The Apex Court resolved all the issues in favor of the past respondent. Governor Peter Mbah. Reports say the Apex Court, in a unanimous decision delivered by a 5-member panel of justices, dismissed an appeal filed by the Labour Party and its candidate Chijioke Edoga, challenging the outcome of the governorship election held on March 18th this year. On petroleum matters, the Nigeria Customs Services has revealed conditions for liquefied natural gas marketers to enjoy the presidential directive on zero import of gas items and imported LPG and other accessories. According to Customs, items to enjoy which waiver must be supported with an approval letter from the Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Energy. Meanwhile, the development comes after the national president of the Nigeria Association of LPG Marketers, Oladapo Olatunbosun, lamented the non-implementation of the presidential directive on zero import duties on gas. In another development, 55 newly recruited officers of the Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS) have graduated and 52 senior officers promoted to various positions at the NIS Enugu State Command. The Assistant Controller General Azuka Haliday disclosed these at the personnel parade of the newly recruited personnel and decoration of promoted officers at the command. Azuka said the total number of graduates is 55, made up of 27 males and 28 females, and tasked the newly recruited personnel to see their enlistment into the service as a call to duty to serve their fatherland with a sense of patriotism, discipline, determination, selflessness, and integrity. And moving now to Africa, where an agreement has been signed with Russia by members of a committee of Vice Chancellors of Nigerian Universities, CVCNU, and African Vice Chancellors. The Secretary General, CVCNU, Professor Yakubu Oshefu, in a statement made available to newsmen in Abuja today, said that the agreement was aimed at addressing challenges in the African education system. Oshefu said that the agreement was geared towards emphasizing a shift from an agrarian to an industrial economic model. And still in Africa, Moscow's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said Russia is ready to supply more grain to Tunisia. Lavrov said this during a visit to the North African country grappling with shortages fueled by drought. At a meeting with Tunisian President Kais Saied in the capital, Tunis, Lavrov said Russia's crop yields had been good for the second or third year in a row and that it was willing to help Tunisia. And while over the past 4 years, Tunisia has been plagued by drought, which dealt a major blow to its last grain season. On a foreign scene, Britain's economy has unexpectedly shrank in the third quarter, raising fears of a potential recession before an election due next year. The Office for National Statistics said gross domestic product contracted 0.1%. Foreign nationals were killed and more than 20 others wounded after a student opened fire at a university in Prague. Prague Police Chief Martin Vondrasek said the bloodshed took place in the Philosophy Department building of Charles University, where the shooter was a student, adding that the gunman also died. Meanwhile, Vondrasek said that 14 people had died and 25 were wounded, after earlier reporting that 15 had died and 24 were hurt, warning that the death toll could rise. Still to come in the news, Ten Hag gives Man United injury update ahead of West Ham trip. Stay with us.
Business exists only to meet the needs of the people. But there's an extra advantage if your product and services are pitched on a platform that gives you the added advantage over your competitors. For your desired return on investment and so much more, advertise on Spectrum Television, on StarTimes DTH Channel 421 and on free-to-air with a frequency of 12733. Spectrum Television, broadening your horizon.
Christmas season is here again. Are you aware that making your business or product visible on a television space gives your brand a wider visibility and patronage? In the spirit of the season, Spectrum Television is offering a whopping 25% discount on all services. Advertise your products and services while this offer lasts from 1st December 2023 to January 31st, 2024. We are a television with a passion to take your business and services on a satisfactory lane. You do not want to miss this opportunity. For more inquiries, visit our city office at number 2 Taft Plaza Close off Akaitinen Road, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, or call the following numbers on your screen. Spectrum TV, broadening your horizon.
Welcome back, and many thanks for staying with us. Over now to our business news. On our business news, one of Nigeria's leading airline, Airpeace, said it was set to resume direct flight connectivity to Guangzhou, China on December 28. This is contained in a statement issued by the spokesman of the airline, Stanley Olisa, today. He said that passengers could also now fly Accra, China, Accra, which is a new connection. Olisa said the resumption of flights to China and the newly introduced connection were in furtherance of Air Peace's commitment to providing connectivity across cities and between continents, while also fostering socio-economic relations. In health, the World Health Organization has added that the R21 and Matrix M malaria vaccine to its list of pre-qualified vaccines. Recall that in October 2023, the WHO recommended the use of the vaccine for the prevention of the disease in children following the advice of the World Health Organization Strategic Advisory Group of Experts on Immunization and the Malaria Policy Advisory Group. Meanwhile, the pre-qualification means larger access to vaccines as a key tool to prevent malaria in children, with it being a prerequisite for vaccine procurement by UNICEF and funding support for deployment by Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. And still in health, pediatric experts have advised nursing mothers to desist from breastfeeding sleeping babies to avoid the danger of aspirating the food. Aspiration is when food, liquid, or other substances accidentally enters airway or lungs. According to the National Institute of Health, foreign body aspiration is a major cause of coincidental death in children less than 1 year old and the cause of death in 7% of children under the age of 4. Meanwhile, foreign body aspiration accounted for more than 17,000 emergency department visits and cost 220 deaths in children aged 14 years or younger. To sport now, where Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has given injury updates on his squad ahead of the trip to West Ham in the Premier League on Saturday. Ten Hag, speaking to reporters today, confirmed Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez will not be available for the game. Meanwhile, United will also be without Mason Mount, Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. And still in sport, Equatorial Guinea will face Indomitable Lions of Cameroon in the friendly game. Reports say the game will hold on 8 January 2028 as part of preparations for both teams for the AFCON. Meanwhile, after the friendly game against Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea will open their AFCON campaign against the Super Eagles on Sunday, 14 January. And 4 days later, they will take on Guinea-Bissau before ending the group phase with a clash against host Côte d'Ivoire on January 22nd. On our entertainment news, American rapper Roddy Ricch has hinted at relocating to Lagos, Nigeria. The rapper, currently on vacation in Nigeria, said he is considering buying a house in Lagos. He said he has been enjoying rich hospitality in Nigeria. And still on entertainment, sensational singer Oludipe Oluwasami David, popularly known as Spyro, recently shared his inspiring story of overcoming financial struggles. He narrated how he faced financial difficulties at the beginning of the year 2023, saying that with determination and hard work, he was able to turn his fortunes around before the end of the year. Spyro shared his story on social media to encourage those who may be facing similar challenges. And that's all we have for you at this time. Don't sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, spectrumtvlive.ng. You have been watching Spectrum News at 4. I am Rachel David White. Good afternoon.